Welcome to my home studio. It's been a while. I've been busy working on the scapes as usual, and the purpose of this video is to show you all of the scapes, what I've been working on, what you can expect coming soon, and yeah, just great to give you guys an update of things that have been going on. Check this out, this is really cool. I bought this at the RHS Malvern show, which is a beautiful show dedicated to plants and gardening, and yeah, it was really cool. This is the Oase HighLine 300 room divider. Plenty of videos on this now. It's filtered with two Oase Biomaster 850 filters. If you can see in there, but there's two running. Surprisingly quiet, just using the regular media that comes supplied with the Biomasters, but you do have a lot more options now available, so you can tailor your media to your own requirements. But yeah, fish are doing great. I've stopped feeding them so much, 50% water change a week or thereabouts, very gradually pruning the Anubias back. It goes very slowly, but surprisingly little algae considering the fish load, and there's no CO2 or very little fertilisers. I do occasionally, very occasionally add liquid fertilisers. But yeah, this has been running at least 3 or 4 years now. The fish are at least six years old. But yeah, just love it. It's just a lovely fish tank to live with. Really, really love it. Let's move on to one of my favourite scapes at the moment, because I'm not injecting CO2, so it's really, really easy and slow growing and nuisance algae free. And there is more scope to put some more fish in here. There's just a few juvenile platies at the moment. You see I'm filtering here with the new internal filters from Oase. This is the EcoFlow. Very cool, very modular, magnetic, so it's dead simple to clean and tailor. Again, you can custom with different media if you wish. Quite a discreet filter. The grey matches the grey of the cabinet perfectly. I'd usually have this in the background hidden by the plants, but I kind of wanted to show you the filter. You've got a directable nozzle here and flow rate adjustment on top. But yeah, just a cool little filter, reasonably priced. I'll leave a link in my description if you want to consider buying one in North America. Okay, so that's the Oase ScaperLine 60. This was originally actually scaped as part of a workshop a good few months ago now, and I ran out of CO2. Well, I didn't run out of CO2. The CO2 is actually over here, and I didn't really want to run a long hose all the way over here, and I didn't have a spare CO2 regulator. So I thought, you know what, I'll just turn off the CO2 and see what happens. Kept everything the same, apart from dosing fertilisers once a week instead of every day. But other than that, everything is exactly the same, and the growth is just slow and steady. There's hardly any algae growth. Loads of shrimps are breeding in here, cherry shrimps. I love these little textures of the Anubias mini coin and the Marcellea hirsuta, the round textures. We've got weeping moss there. There's some Java moss down here. This moving rotala blood red that's staying red despite no CO2. Sagittaria in the back, and there's a crypt balancei, and there's a couple of other crypts, crypt undulatus, and then there's crypt nurii as well. Hydrocotyle tripartita, this grows really quite quickly. It's probably the fastest grower in here, so I do thin that out. But yeah, just a real surprise, a lovely surprise, this Aquascape, and relatively low maintenance. I'm just changing 30% of the water every week and dosing 15 millilitres of Tropica Specialised once a week. So really, really straightforward. The regular filter I run, this is just to show off this filter, but the regular filter I use is the Biomaster 250 there. Again, just with the supplied internal media, and then I'm using clear hose and glass lily pipe, of course. Okay, the big tank. This is just maturing beautifully, as always, and just a real joy. The fish are just really healthy. We've got a dead plant in there. Let's get that out. So yeah, just looking really, really lovely and colourful and lush and healthy. And yeah, my favourite aquarium that I've ever owned, I'd say that I was a HighLine 400. Had this 6 years now. And yeah, the Scape's 3.5 years old, I'd say. Just doing really well. Fish are getting some of the fish are getting a bit old in the tooth now, they're quite old, but the angelfish are still growing, doing really well. I don't think they're a pair, they're not spawned or shown any behaviours like that yet, but they do get on, they don't fight, that's good. We've got a couple of Echinodorus reds in here. This is Red Diamond and Flame, I believe. I did mislabel it as Hormonio Red, so grateful to the chap on Facebook for correcting that. You can see the CO2 mist there in the background, just those white bubbles. That's from a CO2 diffuser, which is in line on the Biomaster 850. You can see it there. So 2 Biomaster 850s there. There's the old style on the left, and then the new one on the right. The new one is basically more efficient and has some design improvements to just improve the overall functionality and reliability. But yeah, I love this tank, really, really lovely. Going to keep it running for as long as possible, really. Let's see why it can't go another few years. This is looking amazing. I think this is nearly 6 months old now, and I actually did a big maintenance session on it the other day. For those that aren't aware, this is just it's a WEO shallow, so 25 centimetre footprint, 9 centimetres tall, which is what, 9 inches, 10 inches, and about 2 or 3 inches high. And then just about 4 or 5 lava stones kind of silicon together as a little island, and then I've just attached a load of moss and small epiphytes, and there's a small filter running on its side down there, an internal filter with an uplift tube. Can you see that? And then that just pumps the water and it cascades and dribbles down the island, keeps all the plants suitably moist and wet. So I'm really happy with this. The Euchorus is looking really great. I love the way the kind of roots have curled round. I did that deliberately for aesthetics, using roots as a visual focal point, which we don't normally do. So yeah, just lifted the whole island out in one go, rinsed it under running water, tap water in fact, just to rinse off any detritus and loose organics. Rinsed off all of the substrate in old water just to maintain the bacteria. Reposition the Euchorus, clean the filter in the back, put everything back, and the whole thing was like completely maintained in about 15 minutes. And that's the only maintenance I've really done in 6 months. The other maintenance is just topping off for evaporation and cleaning the glass. So this is a real joy to live with this. And this is actually for sale on my website. So if you're in the UK and you can take this home, then check it out. Okay, this is a new edition. And I'm not going to talk too much about this because this will be it has its own series of videos. This is the ScaperLine 90. And as you can see, I've done quite a lot of work on the hardscape over the this has actually been here for about 5 weeks now, and I've been just tinkering with the hardscape, evolving it gradually. Really, really happy with it. I do love a triangular layout, and I just love to add some of these details. It's going to be very minimalist plant layout, so we'll chat about that in another video. But yeah, shout out to Awase for supplying such beautiful aquariums. You know, whether it's the HighLine, you know, the ScaperLine, or the ScaperLine 100, or even this is the ScaperLine 90. So they do 3 ScaperLines, all really, really high quality. Look at that silicon work there in the corner. Low iron glass, so you get that kind of nice blue glow instead of green. And yes, it'll be filtered with a Biomaster 850 inline CO2. Gonna add some more substrates to the back. Got the Scaper soil there, and we've got Awase's improved LED lighting here. So that will replace this. This is just a Twin Star G, just sort of balanced over the top, but that's quite effective. And it has we've got some controllers as well. So this is the EAC. Can't remember the name, what it stands for, but it basically controls the lighting. So that'd be interesting to set up. Oh, and a little print here that a creator down in Bristol sent me, so shout out to the Wild Studio. I'll leave a link, but yeah, thank you, it's beautiful. Yeah, so just some Awaze products there just on display. These are the ones I'll be using for the 90, all the fertilizers, and the fertilizer I also use in here now instead of the Tropica Specialized, which I now just use in here, and the cichlid tank if necessary. So there we go, that's an update of all of the tanks. I just wanted to have a little bit of a chat really. It's been a while, hasn't it, since I last did a video, and I did try to do a live stream last Sunday and it didn't really work out, so apologies for that. I had a bit of a technical issue with the sound and the streaming quality, so I'll before I do the next one, I will do some more kind of checks, and I will actually consider using my digital SLR camera for the live stream instead of a phone, which should be much higher quality hopefully. So yeah, last kind of few months I've been quite I've not been busy, that's the thing. I've been busy working on myself, if you like, doing a lot of work, a lot of inner work, excuse the noise in the background, and as a result haven't been producing so much content, because I believe if I just have a bit of a reset, a bit of a rest, I can come back to being a content creator with a bit more passion, and yeah, maybe take the channel in a bit of a newer direction. I'm not sure yet, but just to let you know, I haven't stopped creating content and there's still plenty of opportunity for me to do so. I'm just having a bit of a reflective time really. So first of all, if you are a subscriber, thank you so much. It's really appreciated, and it makes what I do obviously worthwhile. Hopefully to know that the content I'm producing is of value to you guys. And yeah, for me, I guess I started out aquascaping and creating content to show off, you know, new creations and my travelling, and it was a bit of education and inspiration, visiting other people, and it was very varied. It was very diverse, the content in terms of the aquascaping, whether that was a step-by-step on a low-tech nano tank, or you know, setting up a 28,000 litre or 7,000 gallon aquascape in Germany, and everything in between. But now my life situation has evolved to the point where I do spend a lot more time at home, and I'm very happy with that. And as a consequence of spending more time at home, I'm evolving the home to make it more of a I don't want to say efficient, but just making the interior space more in line with what I would like my lifestyle to be. So very much connected with nature, very much balancing home life with work life. You know, I'm very grateful that my wife actually has a good job that allows us as a family to have a lot of financial freedom, and so now I can use my time to support, you know, my wife more and the running of the home, rather than me focusing on my own career. So there's just a little bit of background for you, you know, doing a bit of soul searching about purpose, and you know, how work comes into that, family, and just kind of looking after yourself and realising why you're doing what you're doing consciously, rather than doing it as some form of autopilot or survival mode, you know, which many of us seem to be living in these modern times.